wrestling, I'm gonna try again. If not happen, I will strike with him,
No? And I will just enjoy the fight week. That's it. And maybe not today, but next Saturday we will catch some things.
I think a lot of people look at it as like striking grappler, but it's not really. Like Islam's got more than just a grappler. Like he's all round. Obviously, he's one of the best MMA guys. But yeah, I think it's pretty underrated. I think a lot of people just think he'll be able to hold me down. I think I got some tricks to get up.
I don't think he's gonna keep you down.
Yeah.
Even if he is able to get you down. But on the feet, I might be biased, but I love his things.
Islam Makhachev is all set to make his debut at welterweight and fulfill his dream of becoming a two-division champion. Islam has put a lot of effort into his training camp under Khabib's coaching and is now ready to catch the big fish on November 15th. Islam Makhachev explains how he plans to approach Della Maddalena at UFC 322. He plans to switch to striking if wrestling doesn't succeed against Della Maddalena. Islam admits that it's one of his toughest matchups, noting that Jack is big, skilled in all areas, and has solid grappling, even if his wrestling defense isn't perfect.
Honestly, this is one of the maybe hardest fight for me because he's big, he's good everywhere. Maybe he don't have good wrestling defense, but his grappling is good. He defends, he get up from the grappling very, very well. That's why I'm prepare myself for anything. I can strike with him, I can wrestling with him, grappling with him, but I know he also training hard for me because his last opponent, Bilal, we have not same style, but Bilal also tried to wrestling, but he defends his wrestling very well. That's why I have to be ready. If he stop my wrestling, I'm gonna try again. If not happen, I will strike with him,
Islam Makhachev also shared that he completed 3 full training camps in preparation for Della Maddalena, first in Russia, then Dubai, and finally New Jersey. He explained that the initial phase focused on adding size, followed by intense sparring, wrestling, and conditioning sessions in Dubai. The final stage in New Jersey featured a training partner chosen to closely replicate JDM's style.
I did 3 camps, one of them in Russia, one of them in Dubai, and last one in New Jersey. First camp, I just focused to do some weights, to gain weight. I did 3 weeks camp, and after that we moved to Dubai and we did a lot of sparrings, wrestlings, more conditions, And now we in New Jersey, and I have my sparring partner who can do similar JDM. I have one of them, Mohamed Berhamov. He have good boxings, and also he defends very good wrestling. His style some similar JDM, and other guys. I have many guys in a new Nicaton gym. They have many guys who can give me good rounds.
Javier Mendez is also impressed with Islam Makhachev's dedication and describes Islam's current training camp as the most impressive of his career, highlighting growth in striking, grappling, conditioning, and mindset. He calls this the strongest, most focused, and most determined version of Islam he has ever seen, and believes such preparation makes him ready to capture the welterweight title.
Every part of his game impressed me. He's improved everywhere. The stand-up, the ground, the conditioning, the mentality, you name it. This one, he eclipsed any other camp I've ever been with him. This is the best camp that I've ever seen him do with us. I've never witnessed him being this strong, this mentally prepared, and this hungry. He's this hungry. So I know what I have, and we have a hell of a challenger for that welterweight title, and I really strongly believe that we're going to take that title, but it ain't going to be easy. It ain't going to be easy, but we have to respect Jack immensely in order to be able to do that. If we don't respect him, I think we can run into problems. But the problem with respecting him, everybody in our camp respects him immensely. So I think we're well on the right track.
Islam Makhachev also dismissed the idea of moving to middleweight, explaining that competing at 185 pounds would make him feel out of shape and uncomfortable, since it isn't a natural division for him.
For 2026, do you see yourself potentially going to 185 to try for that third title?
185, I'm gonna be fit, I feel it's gonna be hard, it's not gonna be my weight, honestly. It's gonna be too big.
Khabib Nurmagomedov also wants Islam Makhachev to stay at welterweight, explaining that spending an entire career in one division is difficult. He praises Islam's preparation and conditioning as he targets the welterweight title and aims to make history. Khabib Nurmagomedov said, "I want Islam to stay at welterweight because he just turned 34. It's not easy to be in one weight class all your life. He's preparing for the welterweight title. He's looking good, he's in shape, and we hope he's going to make big history." Meanwhile, Michael Bisping breaks down the welterweight super fight between Islam Makhachev and Jack Della Maddalena as a classic boxer versus wrestler clash. He highlights Jack's sharp boxing, clean combinations, and impressive takedown defense, particularly evident in his fight against Belal Muhammad. Bisping notes that while Islam's striking has improved over time and his true strength remains his wrestling and submission game, he sees the matchup as a high-level stylistic battle between Jack's precision striking and Islam's relentless grappling, making it a fascinating and evenly balanced contest.
So you could argue it's a striker versus a grappler, or more importantly, a wrestler versus a boxer. That's essentially, if you break it down to its bare minimum, that's kind of what we have here. Jack Della Maddalena's got some of the cleanest, purest boxing in the UFC. We've seen that throughout his entire UFC run, most notably against Belal Muhammad. He was able to use the footwork, the combinations were fantastic, and then you add in the takedown defense, it was a really tough night for Belal Muhammad. On the flip side, we've got Islam Makhachev. Yes, of course, the striking is always improving because he's just that guy. We're always working, we're always improving. Whatever our weaknesses are, we're trying to bring them up to our other skill level. So the striking is improving, and he certainly had moments when he went out against Dustin Poirier, one of the best strikers that we had in the lightweight division. But at his core, at his heart, he wants nothing more than to get hold of you, take you down, and choke you out. So it is kind of a striker versus a grappler, a boxer versus a wrestler. All in all, though, it is a tremendous matchup.
Islam Makhachev also declared that he would walk away from fighting immediately if Khabib Nurmagomedov asked him to do. He described Khabib as an older brother figure who looks after everyone at the gym and always wants the best for them.
Like, how much does Khabib mean to you?
Khabib is like my old brother. If he tell me
why has he got to be old? He's not that old.
No, but in our gym, in our republic, it's 1 hour. If you're older than someone, he can say something to you, And these guys, if he told me, for example, hey, you have to stop tomorrow, no more fightings, I will listen to him, He's the guy in our gym who take care of us, who control us, who always wish us the best, He know how to do this, how to make the champions, and not in the gym, in life. In my life, he did everything for me.
Islam Makhachev feared that the only regret in his career is not being able to present his championship belt to his late coach, Abdulmanap Nurmagomedov. He reflected on how Abdulmanap believed in him from the very beginning, long before anyone knew his name, and inspired him to chase greatness.
That video, though, you take a look at the end, how good did it feel to be able to finally put that belt and give it to Khabib?
Yeah, it's I told them many times, it's just one moment in my life I miss when I take the belt. I don't give the belt to my coach Abdulmanap because when I was kids, nobody know me. I have zero fights. He told me, he gave me the motivation to be champion.
On the other hand, Jack Della Maddalena recalls the moment he learned he would fight Islam Makhachev, describing it as a huge moment. He explains that within 24 to 48 hours, he and his team were fully locked in, shifting immediately to planning and strategizing for the challenge ahead. JDM notes it was a big test, but he didn't dwell on the moment, knowing that once the fight was announced, the target would be on his back and constant pressure would follow.
It was obviously a big moment, but then I guess just the next challenge sort of drives me, It was within 24, 48 hours, we were pretty locked in that we knew I was going to fight Islam next. Didn't really have much room. I was just sort of back to the drawing board, basically. How are we going to beat Islam? It's a big challenge. Yeah. It's a good fight, so you got to be switched on. So didn't live in the moment for too long.
Because now you have the target on your back as well. So you know they're all coming for you.
For sure.
Constantly. But I think, hey, Heavy's the head that wears the crown.
Israel Adesanya and Jack Della Maddalena further discussed their their thoughts ahead of UFC 322. Adesanya notes that many fans view the matchup as a simple striker versus grappler battle, but Jack explains that Islam Makhachev is a complete MMA fighter with skills beyond just grappling, and he has ways to get back to his feet if taken down. Adesanya praises Jack's speed, leg kicks, and fearless approach, saying his urgency and composure make it hard for anyone, including Islam, to control him on the ground.
This next one with Islam, I don't know what the streets are saying. I don't really tap in too much, but I know the streets will probably be like, oh, you're just a striker, you know, boxer. Islam's gonna do this or that.
I think a lot of people look at it as like striker grappler, but it's not really. Like Islam's more than just a grappler. Like he's a strong all-round. Obviously, he's one of the best MMA guys. I think a lot of people just think he'll be able to hold me down. I think I got some tricks to get up.
I don't think he can keep you down. Even if you hit the ground, like I said, your butterfly guard, but I think it's the urgency.
Yeah.
You're just like, nah, it's like the floor is lava. On the feet, I might be biased, but I love them things. And again, you throw some leg kicks, you know, but for me, it's just a body shot and the way you stalk people. You're not scared to get hit or slip a punch to rip one back. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Are you gonna call your shot and say who you want next, or just?
Nah, they can come to me, right?
Yeah.
King.
I love it.
Jack Della Maddalena also compares Islam Makhachev and Belal Muhammad, saying he doesn't pay much attention to Belal's comments, but acknowledges that Islam is definitely a better finisher. He explains that Makhachev is a more aggressive style and a greater ability to end fights, making him a much tougher opponent overall.
Well, what did you think about him saying that Islam's the perfect? He specifically said that if he gets to the ground, it's going to be a dominant Islam victory, but I could see why people would say that may not be true.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really listen too much to what Bilal says, to be honest. But yeah, of course, Islam's a better finisher than Bilal. He's definitely more of a finisher, more finishes. I think you're more of aggressive style, so definitely a harder fight, 100%.
Meanwhile, Corey Sandhagen shares his thoughts on Jack Della Maddalena versus Islam Makhachev, calling it a compelling matchup. He wonders how well JDM's wrestling will hold up, suggesting it could be Islam's toughest fight yet. Sandhagen notes that moving up a weight class makes the challenge even harder and expresses excitement to watch, praising Islam's dominance and overall skill while anticipating a competitive battle. Corey Sandhagen said, "That's going to be a good fight. I don't know, we'll see how good JDM's wrestling is. That might be Islam's toughest fight. Volk is of course really good, but moving up a weight class, it's a tough fight. It's going to be really tough waters for Islam, and I'm really excited to see that because Islam has been so dominant and so awesome." Randy Brown predicts Jack Della Maddalena has a strong chance against Islam Makhachev at UFC 322. He highlights Jack's power, scrambling ability, and relentless pace, noting that if Islam cannot fully control him on the ground and Jack can get back to his feet, he sees Jack securing the victory. Randy Brown said, "I think Jack can hurt him to the body, and I think Jack is a good puncher, good scrambler, and just his endurance, his ability to not stop moving throughout the fight and continue to move forward. I think that if Islam can't completely close him down and lock him down, his grappling. If Jack is allowed to stand back up and stop takedowns, I think he stops him." Neil Magny believes Jack Della Maddalena enters the fight with a strong chance to win. He highlights Jack's ability to neutralize wrestling, pointing to his performance against Belal Muhammad as proof. Magny emphasizes that Islam Makhachev's success should not be directly compared to Khabib's, as they are very different fighters. He feels Jack possesses the skills and strategies to surprise many fans and potentially come out on top.
No, do you have a good feeling on who you think might win this one?
Yeah, I mean, this is my unbiased opinion. I'm not just saying this because I'm in Australia, but I feel like JDM has a really good chance going into this fight. I mean, he's definitely proven himself being able to shut down the wrestling in his fight against
Belal
Muhammad here most recently. And I think he's going to go out there and really shock a lot of people. I mean, I think a lot of people aren't giving him credit. You're accustomed to seeing guys like Islam win, and you're accustomed to associating his success with Khabib's success. But at the end of the day, those guys are two completely different fighters, and I think JDM definitely has the tools to go out there and shock a lot of people and beat Islam.
On the contrary, Mackenzie Dern expects Islam Makhachev will defeat Jack Della Maddalena, and she notes Islam's grappling edge and believes he will secure takedowns, though she acknowledges that moving up a division gives Jack a size advantage. Even so, Dern expects Islam to come out on top. Mackenzie Dern said, "I think Islam will win. I think, I may grapple, so I'm always like pushing for the grab. I think he'll take him down. I mean, JDM just beat Belal, but I think Islam will still win. I mean, the thing is, when they go up a division, it makes it a little difficult because you see the size difference. and sometimes that makes a difference, but I think Islam will win. Furthermore, Michael Bisping believes a victory over Jack Della Maddalena could elevate Islam Makhachev into GOAT conversations. He notes that beating Jack and following it with multiple title defenses would be a rare and impressive feat. Echoing Michael Bond, Bisping adds that if Islam can overcome elite welterweights like Sean Brady and Shavkat Rakhmonov, it would solidify his legacy as one of the sport's all-time greats and potentially one of its most dominant fighters.
I'm looking at his record and you're seeing Moicano, Dustin Poirier, Volkanovski twice in a row, Charles Oliveira, and then if you were a critic, then you start talking about Bobby Green. There's Dan Hooker, who's a tremendous fighter, Drew Dober, Davey Hamosh, Arman Sarukian. You know what I'm saying? So that hasn't aged bad. So yeah. I mean, listen, if he gets the job done, I think without question, he deserves to be in that conversation.
Yeah, and dude, let alone if he can defend that belt a couple times against a Sean Brady, against a Shavkat, against any of these super high level welterweights, like I think that would kind of push his legacy over the edge. And I think we're having conversations about him being top 3 or number 1. If he defends
without a shadow of a doubt. If he can beat Jack, and again, it's a big if. I'm not sure what the odds are on that fight, but if he can beat Jack and go on a run and defend it 2 or 3 times, it's insane.
Bilal Muhammad also analyzes the matchup between Islam Makhachev and Jack Della Maddalena, stressing that Jack must remain flawless on the ground. He explains that Islam's composure and control allow him to dominate grappling exchanges, punishing even minor openings. Bilal notes that while Makhachev rarely errs, Jack still shows brief lapses that Islam would exploit immediately.
Obviously, Islam versus Jack, for me, breaking down this fight stylistically, obviously trained with Islam, fought Jack. It's going to come down to if it hits the ground. If it hits the ground for Islam, I think his top game is going to be really good. He's very smart, very controlled, doesn't let you off the hook when you make a mistake. Jack makes mistakes on the ground. He uses it to scramble. He has good scrambling ability. He has moments where he's like lapses safety, right? He'll give up his back, he'll give up his neck, he'll give up an arm triangle. And you can't do that with Islam. Islam's going to see that and he's going to exploit it. I think if Islam comes out wrestling right away and forcing that takedown right away, making that work, it's going to be a long night for Jack.
Moreover, Eugene Behrman supports Jack Della Maddalena, emphasizing that he represents their region. He points out that Islam Makhachev is not invincible, referencing his past knockout loss and Alexander Volkanovski's win as examples of openings. Behrman adds that despite some fans' doubts, a viable strategy to challenge Makhachev is already identifiable.
What is your feel on this one? And also, what do you think of the odds, man? Islam very heavy favorite going into this one.
Okay, I mean, I was obviously backing Jack. Like Jack's, he's one of the boys from our neighborhood, so he's from our side of the world. And look, Islam, there's a blueprint for beating Islam. He's been knocked out before, and Volk's beaten him already. You know what I'm saying? People are going to come in the comments about that.
Eugene Behrman observed that while Islam Makhachev's wrestling is difficult to counter, weaknesses can emerge. He explained that Islam excels at landing single, precise strikes, but openings appear when he's forced into extended combinations. Behrman believes that sustained pressure, forcing Islam to throw multiple punches, could allow a disciplined striker like Jack Della Maddalena to capitalize on those gaps.
There's a bit of a blueprint out there. Look, if you can, obviously it's a difficult thing to counter the wrestling, but Islam, you'll find holes. What you have to do with Islam is you have to get him. He's very good at throwing one shot. He can pick you off and throw one shot very well. You need to put Islam in a position where he has to fight to win the round, and that means he has to put 2 and 3 punches together. His vulnerabilities come when he has to fight with you and put 2 or 3 punches together. That's when the holes start appearing, and that's because you just, you're a wrestler. Like at a high level, the holes start really appearing when there's a lot of pressure, and you have to put 2 or 3 punches together to hang with the other person. And that's where Jack will find the vulnerabilities. But they know that, bro. They're a very smart team, and it's a very interesting fight.
And that's a wrap up on today's breakdown. How do you think this fight will go? Share your predictions in the comments below, and if you enjoyed the video, make sure to like and subscribe to our channel for more great content.